Hi, and welcome to episode 68 of M1 Yarns and the Michigan Makers podcast. I'm Jamie, your host and the dyer behind m1yarns.com. And if you're not familiar with knitting podcasts, when I say dyer, I mean yarn dyer. What you see behind me are some of my skeins of yarn. And let's start off with talking about what I'm wearing, because that is also my hand-dyed yarn. This is my Easy Rider Superwash DK base in the colorway Night, Marmalade, and Berry Compote. And this gorgeous, fun design is the Barbie Crop by Maral Mokri, who is knitting ruined my life both on Instagram and Ravelry. And I test knit. See if I can talk today. It's Friday afternoon while I'm recording this, and honest to God, it's been a week. I'm really tired. I think my brain is just maxed out with you ever have one of those weeks where nothing big is going on, just like 1,000,001 little things that require a lot of attention to detail? That's been my week. Anyway, so what was I going to say? I test knit this for her. It is now an available pattern on Ravelry, and it was so fun to knit. These heels and purses and flowers just give me so much joy. And it is currently raining here in Michigan. And so when I was trying to think of what to wear to podcast, I thought I need something like bright and fun. And of course, the Barbie movie is still all the rage. And I just got these fun leather earrings. I don't know if you're supposed to separate the little, what do you call it? Oh, that looks better. I just got these. So maybe you're supposed to give them a little bit of oomph. Anyway, I like them because they're big and you can actually see them with all my crazy hair. But we digress. This is a knitting podcast. So I have some really fun stuff that's new going on today. And today I'm drinking nettle tea, which I'm sure the vast majority of you have heard of. I had not, but I just was reading about it somewhere, and then I actually happened to see it at a farmer's market and heard, so many good health benefits. And I thought, I like herbal tea. Let's try this. And honestly, this is the first cup I brewed from what I bought. I didn't add any honey or lemon or anything. I just want to see what it tasted like by itself. And honestly, I like it. I like kind of that herbal taste of teas. Maybe not for everyone. Anyway, okay, so let me tell you what I'm knitting because it's also what's going to be new in the shop within the next week or so. So if you're watching this when I plan on releasing the episode, Saturday, August, I'm trying to look at my computer, little date and time, August 12th. The kits might not yet be live in the shop, but if you wait a few days, they should be. So next weekend, I am vending at wrong festival. I almost said a different one. I'm vending at the Michigan Fiber Festival, which is in Allegan at the Allegan County Fairgrounds. And they say it's the largest fiber festival in Michigan. I don't know if that's true. Maybe. But it's a really good show if you are in the Chicago area or Indiana or anywhere in Michigan, really. It's worth the trip. So I will be vending there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They also are doing workshops beginning Wednesday. So I'll try to link the workshops and the website and everything else I talk about in the description box below. But for the show, and because you guys are my viewers, I figured why not give you guys first sneak peek. So the first kit I'm really excited about is the Lumberjack sock pattern by Tin Can Knits, that I have kitted up with with the main color and the contrast color in 2 options for the contrast color. What's great about this pattern is it's written for baby through adult large, and so I'm calling it, I think I called it DK Socks for the Family, something like that. Anyway, so this is the main color, which is old Levi's, old faded Levi's. I'm telling you, my brain is like completely shot. And then the contrast color is eggplant, kind of a purpley, like a deep dimensional purple. Anyway, I've only got this far. I just started it last night. What I love about, so this is a 75-25 yarn, so it's great for socks. But what I love even more is that it's DK weight. I like a thick sock, and I wouldn't describe this as like a thick, like a hiking sock. But I don't love thin socks, and I definitely don't love to knit fingering weight socks. But I do like hand knit socks. So I was thinking, like, this is a great learn to knit socks pattern slash kit because it's going to go faster than fingering because it's DK. It's, you know, you still learn all the sock techniques and whatnot. And the pattern is great for the whole family. So I hope I can get these done. I have less than a week. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. So that is the first thing that I'm knitting. So keep an eye out in the shop for that. Oh, so there's going to be that color combo that I just showed you. And then there will also be one where in addition to that same main color, you can choose from a deep dark blue. I'll insert some photos here. But those will be the color combo options. And again, I'm just really excited for knitting DK weight socks. The next thing I'm knitting that is going to be a kit in the shop is going to be, I have so many things in this project bag. It is ridiculous. Do you guys do that? Like 8 projects in a bag? That's because this bag is gigantic. I bought this last year at Cakepalooza. This is a pink hazel project bag. It's got pockets. You can't really see. You don't want to see all my junk. Anyway, we digress. This is going to be a kit for hats. And in the kit, you're going to get a skein of fingering weight yarn. Show you a little closer. And Suri alpaca. And you can hold them together to knit several free patterns that will come in the kit. So this is the fabric of it together. This is just like a basic, you know, like a basic simple stockinette hat that I'm working on the sample. I also knit the, what's it called? You can't really see it on camera very well. The Lenny by Isabel Kramer. So basically what you're going to do when you get the kit is you get the yarn, you'll get everything you need, including several patterns that are all free patterns. So that will be fun. So I definitely think I can finish this hat by next week for the Fiber Festival, because essentially all I have now to do, if you will, this looks crazy, but you guys are here for my crazy, is the like decreases that'll make it the slouchy. You know what I'm saying? I could just put it on, duh. Yeah, so I'm at the part where I'm starting the decreases. That's that. I do have weird ears that stick out. Anyway, now I'm getting all tangled and disorganized, but that's all right. So I do have another hat kit that is going in the shop soon, but I haven't got my you-know-what together on that one. So stay tuned for that. Progress on my Rhinebeck sweater, or I should say on one of my Rhinebeck sweaters. This is one of them that I'm taking if you're new here. I'm going to the New York Sheep and Wool Festival in October with some friends. It's a 3-day event. So I'm going to wear this one day. I'm going to wear another cardigan one day. And then I'm going to wear this cardigan one day. This is Andrea Mowry's Spark cardigan. And I have just, I don't think I had joined the sleeves as of last episode. I had just joined the sleeves the other day when I realized I need to make these kit samples. But sleeves are now joined. This is a bottom-up steeked cardigan. And I usually don't like bottom-up, but I love this. I am really enjoying this. And when I finish those kits that we just discussed, I can't wait to get back to this. Because really all that's left are the decreases like up to the neckline, and then steek it open, and then knit the collar. I think all of that will go fairly quickly. Let's see if I can give you a close-up of this gorgeous yarn. The silvery main color is my own hand-dyed worsted weight in the colorway Silver Fox. Or I should say it's like a light gray. It's not silver like a shiny metal. And then the contrast color is Primrose in the colorway Plum? No. I'll put it below. Anyway, so I don't need this done until mid-October, and it's mid-August right now, so I really am in good shape. So I actually would knit that pattern again in like one solid tonal yarn, no color work. I love the idea of a steeked cardigan. And I hate the idea that my hair is suddenly like turning frizzy. Anyway. That tea really is good. Like, the longer it sits, the more flavorful it gets. Okay, so if you were here either last episode or the episode before, I was discussing my Rhinebeck sweater plans. And the next cardigan that I wanted to make, that I'm not going to make just yet, is the Varma by Johanna Val. And what had happened is it says bulky on Ravelry, but in fact, what they really need to say is that the gauge is bulky, but you're holding 2 strands together to create a fade. So long story short, I had dyed some bulky yarn, and what I really needed to do is dye Sport to hold double. So I just dyed all my contrast colors, and my main color is actually in the dye pans as we speak. Let me hold it like this so you get like really good contrast. This is my beach sand colorway. This is just undyed because I wanted like a really bright and light, you know, like heavy contrast. This, oh, what is this? Fuzz or something. this is a colorway that I don't normally stock, but I've just fallen in love with it, so I feel like maybe I will. I don't know if the camera's really doing it justice. It's like a, there we go, like a deep chocolatey brown. And then this. So these are going to be my contrast colors. And then the main color, I'll insert the photo of the cardigan again here so you get the vibe. I was going to do like a slate, like a charcoal gray for the main body. So basically pretty similar to the sample. I dyed it and I held it up to these, which I dyed first, and I didn't like it. The charcoal was too cool, and these I think are more of a warm vibe. And so then I dyed it a brown, but it wasn't contrasty enough to this. So now I'm over dyeing it wine, which is basically this colorway, but I'm going to make it like really, really deep. Like almost like Merlot, you know, like a rich burgundy. I think that will look really cool, and that's totally my vibes. And I have the cutest boots that would go with that like wine color. So I have a whole vision for my finished object photo. Anyway, I'm not going to knit this for a while. So there's really no rush on the dyeing, but the main color is in the dye pans while we speak. So if I get it done by the time I'm done editing this video, I'll insert a photo. Otherwise, stay tuned. We'll come back to this. So if you are a long time viewer, you may have seen an episode or two with my friend Gwen, who is by Gwen's Design on Instagram, and she is just a creative extraordinaire. She and I took a day and kind of did like our own mini yarn crawl. We drove from Metro Detroit over to Ann Arbor, and we went to Spun, which is a phenomenal yarn shop. If you're ever in Ann Arbor, highly recommend. Let me show you what I bought there. I don't go yarn shopping very often, so, for obvious reasons. So this was kind of fun. This is the Zauberball Stark 6 by Scopel. And so I'm going to make socks out of this at some point. I feel like maybe this would be a good travel cast on. And these colors, I think, are just so good. So I got that. And then, oh my gosh, I didn't tell you guys. I bought an electric Eel Wheel 6, which if you're not familiar, is an electric fiber spinner. I've wanted one of these for a while. I was considering maybe buying one at Rhinebeck in October. But the one I had seen last year at Rhinebeck was quite pricey. And I didn't know if I could justify it as a newbie. And one of my friends locally posted on Instagram that she was going to sell hers because she uses her traditional treadle wheel way more often than the electric spinner. And she was like, hey, is anybody interested in buying it? I was like, yes, sign me up. So we met up the other day and she gave me a little tutorial of it. And of course, I'm no expert. In fact, I'm really terrible at it right now, but that's okay. I have long wanted to spin yarn, and I just want to like make it a no pressure thing. So if you have any tips, please comment below. But my main thing is, my goal will be to sit down with the machine for like 5 minutes a day. That's it. That way I don't let myself get to the point where I'm, irritated over my performance with it. It's just a little bit of practice until really I start to get that groove. But in the meantime, I could not resist while we were at Spun I could not resist buying this yarn. This, what are we going to call this? Warp? No, that's the colorway. A braid. Shall we? We'll call it a braid. How pretty is this? This is by Stitch Together Studio. Rad Yarn for Rebels is what it says. Oh, they're from Iowa. Very cool. So check that out. So one day when I'm a halfway decent spinner, I'm going to spin this into some yarn. And when I do, we should all collectively celebrate the journey that this fiber went on. So yeah, bottom line, I'm really excited for learning to spin. Sorry about all the crinkly noise. Then while we were in Ann Arbor, we also went to like one of those craft reuse shops, like where you can donate your craft materials, and then it's typically run by like volunteers. There's one in Detroit, there's one in Ann Arbor. I've been to one in Colorado Springs. Really cool. Anyway, the one in Ann Arbor, neither of us had been to before. It wasn't phenomenal. Gwen said that the one in Detroit is better. So if you're looking for something like that, the one here in Detroit, I think is called Arts and Scraps. The one in Colorado Springs, I know a lot of you are in Colorado Springs, where I'm originally from. I just dropped something. So I'm originally from Colorado Springs, and last time I was there in the spring visiting my mom, we went to one of these, like, craft supply donated, like, shops. And I think that one's called Scrap. Yeah. Anyway, this was a whole like long explanation. We went to the shop, and the only thing I found that I really, really loved were these buttons. They have like a little anchor motif, and I got 5 of them. And I don't know, like, I don't really have a cardigan in mind to put them on, but, ooh, so if any of you know of a nautical themed pattern that I should knit to put these on, let me know. Anyway, aren't they really cute? They're metal. I like to think that they actually came off some sailor's uniform. Maybe they have like some crazy history. Anyway, then from there we drove to Livonia, Michigan, and went to Michigan Fine Yarns, which is a yarn shop that I've never been to. I have intended on going there for literally years. So Michigan Fine Yarns has been open for over 10 years. And the moment I walked in, I was so overwhelmed by their expansive stock. And when we walked in, immediately we were greeted by a lovely employee, and she looked at me and said, "Hey," like really enthusiastically. And my take was like, "Oh, they're so friendly here," which they were, very warm and welcoming, which I just love. But she said right off the bat, she's like, "I watch your podcast." And I just thought that was so cool, because sometimes I honestly forget that I have a podcast. I kind of expect to be able to walk around in the world like anonymously, I guess is the word, incognito. And she was just very kind. And so that just made my day. Like, I know you're out there. My viewers are out there living your best life, working in yarn shops and shopping for yarn and being yarnistas. But that was really cool. Anyway, I didn't buy anything from there, but Gwen bought quite a few fantastic, um, gorgeous finds. And so maybe I'll have to have her on again when we both have created with our purchases from that day. Anyway, that was just a really fun day. I took the day off work. We went to brunch, we went yarn shopping. It was great. It was so good. It was like a staycation, you know what I mean? So that was that. I don't necessarily think I have anything else to add, except I was just going to remind you that the new make along starts next week. It's the autumn. I get this wrong every time I'm thinking about it. Autumn knits map. No, autumn knits cow. Oh my gosh, how many times this is like, I told you I can't talk. Autumn knits cow. And it's going to run through mid-October. You can knit or crochet any pattern that is a hat, mitts, cowl, scarf, shawl, or socks. So there you go. And just post to Instagram with this hashtag, or there's a Ravelry forum for the podcast, which I will link below. And with that, I hope, I always forget something, but that's all I have for you today. So thanks for joining me, and comment below what you're knitting. Tell me if you're coming to Rhinebeck. Tell me if you're going to the Michigan Fiber Festival next week. And until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.